Good morning, children. Welcome to the online classes. So, today we are going to learn chapter 15, humidity. Children, earlier chapter we have learnt about atmosphere, the different layers of atmosphere. Hope you have remembered about this lesson. So, continuation with that lesson, today we are going to learn about humidity. Children, as you know, the atmosphere contains a lot of moisture and continuously it enters and leaves the atmosphere. See, when present in the air, it gives air a different character. So, the process by which water vapor enters the atmosphere on heating is known as evaporation. And the process by which the droplets falls to the ground in liquid, solid or frozen form is known as precipitation. The amount of water vapor present in air is known as humidity. Okay, so what is humidity, children? The amount of water vapor present in air is known as humidity. So the total volume of water in the oceans and seas is constant. This is because all the water that evaporates from the earth's water bodies is eventually returned to it directly by the process of condensation and precipitation, and indirectly by stream and overflow from land surfaces. Okay, so when the condensation occurs, this heat is released back into the atmosphere, causing a slight rise in the temperature. In the equatorial regions, the sky often remains overcast with clouds and evaporation is relatively low. In tropical deserts surrounded by seas, evaporation is maximum because of high temperatures and clear skies. Thus, it is clear that the factors favoring evaporations are different. So, the factors which favor the evaporations are humidity, the supply of heat, and the winds. So, what are the different factors which favor the evaporation? One is humidity, supply of heat, and wind. So, humidity, as you know, this dry air promotes greater evaporation, and the water vapor present in the atmosphere is known as humidity. And the supply of heat, the greater the heat of the water surface and air above it, the greater will be the rate of evaporation. Okay, children, and the winds also. The strong winds promote evaporation, which helps the wet clothes dry more quickly and a windy day than when it is calm. Okay, when there is a lot of wind, strong winds promote evaporation. It helps to the wet clothes to dry more quickly. Okay, so let us learn once again what is humidity. Humidity is nothing but the amount of water vapor present in the air is known as humidity, and this humidity is measured with the help of a hygrometer. So the humidity is measured with the help of hygrometer. Your syllabus says only you should know the meaning of humidity. Your textbook also explains about the absolute humidity, the relative humidity, the condensation, difference between absolute and relative humidity, but it is not there for your syllabus right now for this academic year. So children, you have to focus only on the meaning of humidity. Then next you will be learning only about the precipitation. So let me explain to you what is precipitation. Precipitation is nothing but it is the process by which products of condensation, which products of condensation comes down in the forms of water droplets, ice crystals, and sleet, etc. And they all fall down in the form of precipitation. So rainfall, snowfall, drizzle, sleet, and hail are the chief forms of precipitation. All these are the chief forms of precipitation. Even the fog and mist are also. Okay, children, the process by which the products of condensation like water droplets, crystals, ice crystals, sleet, etc., fall to ground is known as precipitation. Rainfall, snowfall, drizzle, sleet, and hail are the chief forms of precipitation. Children, the precipitation takes place only when tiny particles of water join together and to form a large sized particles which become too heavy to remain in suspension in the clouds. Okay, so one of the most important form of precipitation is rain. It is most common form of precipitation. Raindrops of smaller size and less density are known as drizzle. And snow, the next one is snow, the water droplets which rise higher and freeze on account of drop in temperature. Snowfall usually occurs in winter in cold climates or on high mountains. So water droplets which rise higher and freeze on account of drop in temperature. Snowfall usually occurs in winter in cold climates or on high mountains. And the next one is hail. What is hail, children? Sometimes vertical air currents may push water droplets or ice particles higher. They form into solid ice and fall as hail. Hailstones cause great damage to crops. Children, have you ever observed the hailstones? Have you ever experienced these hailstones? Yes, you might have. You might have observed these hailstones are nothing but the small ice cubes which fall down as rain. They are known as hailstones. Okay, all these are the different forms of precipitation. So what all I have explained to you, I have explained to you. You need to know in this lesson only about humidity. What is the meaning of humidity? Precipitation. What is precipitation? And the different forms of precipitation. Your course content has given something more also, but it is not there for your syllabus for this academic year. You will learn only humidity, its meaning, then the precipitation, the forms of precipitation like rain, snow and hailstones, and then you will learn about the different types of rainfall. You know, children, there are different types of rainfall. So there are three different types of rainfall. The three different types of rainfalls are the relief rainfall, the convectional rainfall, cyclonic or the frontal rainfall. So let me explain to you one by one about each and every rainfall. Relief rainfall, generally it occurs in the equatorial region, mostly in the equatorial region. So the relief rainfall, it is also known as an orographic rainfall. See, you can see in the picture the relief rainfall, mostly it when the ascending air increases and it descends down it is more in the windward side of the mountain, and it is less in the rain shadow area. Rain shadow area is nothing but the leeward side of a mountain. Okay, children, right. The relief rainfall is also known as orographic rainfall. Children, this rainfall occurs from cooling of warm, moist air which ascends above the mountain barrier, lying in the direction of the prevailing winds. See, earlier we have learnt about the types of winds. What are the different types of winds? Yes, variable winds, periodic winds, prevailing winds, all these types of winds. Now see, this is the depending on the direction of the prevailing winds. So the presence of mountains causes humid air to rise, and the sudden ascent causes cooling of air, leading to condense and precipitation. Since it is caused by the relief of the land, it is called relief rain. On descending the leeward slope, a decrease in altitude increases both the pressure and temperature, leading the air to get compressed and warm, and consequently the relative humidity drops and there is evaporation and little no precipitation in the rain shadow area. Wherever there is a windward side, there is a heavy rainfall, and wherever there is a leeward side, that means when the rain descends, then there is less rainfall. Okay, children, when as the wind raises upwards, it contains lot of moisture and it sheds lot of rainfall. as it moves up the mountain region and as it travels the other side of the mountain region, there is a loss of the moisture level, and when the winds ascend down, so there is less, and in the rain shadow area, it is known as the rain shadow area. So this is known as relief rainfall. Children, for example, the monsoon winds while ascending the western Ghats, the winds cause heavy rainfall on the windward side, and to the northeast, the Himalayan barrier makes the winds to shed their moisture on the windward side on the slopes facing south. Same way, in the eastern Brazil, eastern China, and eastern southeastern United States also, there is a relief type of rainfall. So, did you follow, children? This is the important type of rainfall. What is it? The relief rainfall, and it's also known as the orographic rainfall. Go through the content given in your textbook, children, and the diagram also is very much important. Diagram also, it is very much important. When the notes are sent to you, children, you need to draw the diagram for this in your notebooks. Okay. The next type of rainfall is the convectional rainfall. The next type of rainfall is convectional rainfall. How does this convectional rainfall occurs? This convectional rainfall, mostly in the equatorial regions, the high temperature leads to the rapid heating of the air. The high temperature leads to the rapid heating of the air. Such heated air rises in the convectional currents. Such heated air rises in the convectional currents, leading to development of clouds at about 10 kilometers height, ascending currents of hot and humid air causing condensation. And this type of rainfall, children, occurs in the afternoon at about 4 o'clock and is known as 4 o'clock shower. Immediately, the whole day it is hot and humid, and evening at around 4 o'clock there is a heavy downpour of rainfall. So mostly this type of rainfall occurs with the lightning, thunders, and it is daily in the equatorial region. There is a heavy rainfall, and as I have taught you about the relief rainfall, now mostly it is in the mountainous region, and this convectional rainfall is in the equatorial region. Not like relief rainfall is in the mountain region. It is only to when in near the mountain regions, when the winds ascend, then it sheds a heavy rainfall. When it descends, there is a less rainfall or no rainfall. Same way in the convectional currents, the warm air rises and the cool air sinks down, and there is a heavy pour in the equatorial region. So this is one more type of rainfall, and the rainfall, the annual rainfall is more than 200 centimeters, but whereas for the relief rainfall, the temperature or the rainfall is 100 to 200 centimeters. Low rainfall or the moderate rainfall. Some regions there is a heavy rainfall, but some regions there is a moderate, and somewhere like in our country in Rajasthan, there is a less rainfall of 25 centimeters also. And coming to the next type of rainfall is the cyclonic or the frontal rainfall. Cyclonic or frontal rainfall. Children, this type of rainfall is due to the cyclones in the tropical latitudes. This occurs only due to the cyclone. See, sometimes unexpectedly we experience rainfall, then don't we discuss that, yeah, there was a cyclonic effect. So because of that there is a rainfall. So that type of rainfall is a cyclonic or the frontal rainfall, and that is also because of the depressions in the temperate latitudes or the mid latitudes. Say, children, it is caused by meeting of two different air masses. This cyclonic rainfall is caused because of the meeting of the two different air masses with different temperatures and other physical properties. Children, the boundary zones of these air masses are called fronts. The boundary zones of these air masses are called fronts. The rising air is cooled and while undergoing a frontal lift, this causes precipitation. Such precipitation or rainfall is called cyclonic or frontal rainfall, and it is very heavy in the tropical cyclones. This cyclonic or frontal rainfall is very heavy in the tropical cyclones. It lasts for only a few hours, and in temperate depressions such as those of Western Europe, the rainfall is much lighter, though it lasts for several years, and continuously there is drizzling also, and the rainfall is in the form of drizzling. And this cyclonic or the frontal rainfall, how does it occur, children? When the two different air masses with different temperatures and other physical properties, they are formed with the different temperatures and other physical properties. When warm and cold air masses confront each other, the warmer, the lighter air generally climbs above the colder, the heavier air, and the boundary zones of these air masses are called the fronts. So, children, the rainfall is continuous in the form of drizzle also. So, what are the three different types of rainfall? These are very, very important from the examination point of view, children. Try to understand clearly. It is simpler, but you need to read again and again. Focus on the diagrams. The first type of rainfall is the relief rainfall. The second type of rainfall is the convectional rainfall. And the other rainfall is the cyclonic or the frontal rainfall. Okay, so let me conclude the lesson by saying, what is humidity? Humidity is nothing but it is the amount of water vapor present in air known as humidity. And what is the instrument used to measure humidity? The instrument used to measure humidity is hygrometer. Okay, children, again I am repeating, your syllabus, the course content in your textbook is given different types of humidity. So right now in this academic year, you do not have this in your syllabus. You need to know only about the meaning of the humidity, precipitation, forms of precipitation, and the types of rainfall, that is orographic rainfall, convectional, and the frontal, with examples. That's all. So simple. This lesson is very simple, and you need to know only about this. So the humidity, water is added to the atmosphere by the process of evaporation. It changes from liquid to gaseous form. This water vapor in air is called humidity. Okay, so the amount of water vapor is known as humidity. There are some factors which are favoring evaporation. Those are the humidity, the supply of heat, and the winds. And children, as I told you, the instrument you use to measure the humidity is the hygrometer. And then what is precipitation? Precipitation is nothing but it is a process by which products of condensation like water droplets, ice crystals, sleet, etc. fall to ground is known as precipitation. Some more other examples are the rainfall, snowfall, drizzle, sleet, and hail are the chief forms of precipitation. So, and the types of rainfalls are the relief rainfall. Relief rainfall usually in the mountainous region where in the winds ascend, there is a heavy rainfall and in the windward slope. And when these winds they carry and when they move to the other side of the mountain range out to the rain shadow area, they lost their moisture and their dry air descends down and there is no rainfall, or it can be a very less rainfall, and the relative humidity drops down. There is evaporation and little and precipitation, and there is no rainfall in the rain shadow region. So the example of this in India, you can give it as the Western Ghats. The Western Ghats and the Himalayan barrier in the northeast. So Children, the other countries you can write as the eastern Brazil, and in these regions in the relief rainfall, the rainfall can be heavy from 200 centimeter and above, and it can be moderate also up to 100 to 200 centimeter, and very low rainfall up to less than 25 centimeters. Okay, and the next type of rainfall, as I have already explained to you, is convectional rainfall, which occurs in the equatorial region, and immediately in the daytime there is a hot and humid climate, but at around 4 o'clock in the evening there is a 4 o'clock shower. Definitely there is a heavy rainfall with thunders and lightnings. And the next type of rainfall is the cyclonic or the frontal rainfall, and this type of rainfall is due to cyclones in the tropical latitudes. Okay, and this rainfall occurs when warm and cold air masses confront each other. The warmer or the lighter air generally climbs above the colder, the heavier air, and the boundary zones of these air masses are called the fronts. Okay, children, hope you have followed the lesson clearly. Go through the lesson, children, once again. So today we have learned about lesson 15, the chapter 15, humidity. We are going to send you the notes for this lesson also. So take down the notes, and with this in the next class I will teach you the map pointing, some more map pointings, and one more chapter is left in your syllabus, that is the natural regions of the world. With that, your portion will be completed. Okay, children.